Hello, everybody. I'm so excited today to have one of our CCPA alums with us, Mr. Errin Dwayne Brooks. So excited to have you with us here today.
Excited to be
Can
here. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So these are our new Black artist conversations. And today I just want to have some real conversations with you about what it is to be a Black man in opera. What are those things and what advice can you share for our younger students and particularly our Black students who are in the program right now, and that can inspire them and that can uplift them. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. My first question is just in general, what does Black history mean to you, and who are your favorite Black heroes, music or otherwise? Just who are your heroes?
Black history is so important because Black history is history. It's American history, it's world history, and to me personally, it is a direct line to my ancestry. And so it's very important for us to know where we came from and to learn from our past and take from the past things we can do and things that we shouldn't do so that we don't repeat certain events that has transpired.
Mm.
And some of my heroes, uh, um, honestly, Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, uh, um, um, uh, Martin Luther King. I tell everybody I think he's my distant cousin. I think he and my grandfather were distant cousins. Malcolm X, um, Medgar Evers, he brought a lot of change. He brought a lot of the movement and change to Mississippi. That's one of the hardest states we have. And for him to have the courage to to be a leader and go against the grain in a state such as Mississippi in the 1950s and 60s, that inspires me to not just sing opera, but to succeed in opera.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who are some of your, speaking of opera, who are some of your heroes that are Black in the opera gang?
Um, well, it's honestly, to me, it starts with Marian Anderson. I was raised by Black women, strong, intelligent Black women. So
Amen.
Marian Anderson really helped pave the way for all of us. I don't think there would be a Leontine Price or Martino Royal, George Shirley, whom I've had a few master classes with. What an honor that was. Um, George Shirley, first Black male lead at the Metropolitan Opera. And even to today, you have whom I think might be top of the ladder is Lawrence Brownlee. I don't think we talk about Lawrence Brownlee enough. His technique is the closest to perfection, if not perfection, that I've ever seen. He is who I aspire to be technique wise for sure.
Mm,
And I'm also a big fan of Lemmy Pulliam. I
absolutely.
am oh man, there's so many people come to my head. Denise Graves, uh, Eric Owens, Alfred Walker. There are so many of us here, and we don't hear about us enough. So forums like this will change that. Will help change that. So I'm very happy to be here. This is just names I'm thinking of right now. It goes on and on. Latanya Moore, Ezekiah Savage, Russell Thomas. I can go all day about these great influential singers. Leona Mitchell. Oh, she might be my favorite new. Yeah. So yeah, that's just
Absolutely.
and generally any Black person that is succeeding and persevering through a predominantly white field, or a field that is unwelcoming or an uncharted territory for us.
Yeah,
Any of those people are, I consider them heroes.
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, thank you for sharing that. Um, I definitely now also wanted to talk about, what it's like to be in college, because at CCPA right now, we have so many young Black and Brown students who are, in the throes of college, which is already a lot. But on top of that, they're in the throes of a pandemic, going to school on Zoom, not having,
Yeah,
lessons and coachings in person and those types of things. And so I know people oftentimes can, get down, and we already know that the industry and many educational spaces are not welcoming to Black folks and Black talent. So I wanted to ask you, as an alum of CCPA, what advice would you give your younger self, and what advice would you give younger Black and Brown singers who are coming up right now through, the undergrad and graduate programs and artist diploma programs? And if you could just tell us a little bit about, because you were an artist diploma student with Chicago Opera Theater, and if you
yeah.
could share a bit about, what advice you would give, those students.
Well, first of all, let me just say these students that are doing these virtual classes and still pursuing higher learning through a pandemic, I consider you heroes as well. You, this would be a story you could tell your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, because I mean, you and I, we may have taken some online courses, but to like do school online virtually, like going through high school, I was distracted. And then at home, I was distracted. But once I got to college around, like minded individuals, everybody going to class, everybody trying to not just find good education, or not just to find a job, but more importantly, to find ourselves, to be in an environment like that really changed things for me. Just socially, mentally, academically, my grades improved so much once I left home. And so if I was in the pandemic going through college, I don't know if I would have made it, brother. But so kudos to all of you, and my prayers are with you. I'm sending you much prayers for strength and peace and consolation and wisdom. That's one thing I would tell myself, my younger self. It's never too early to gain wisdom. Learn from those whom God placed into your lives, whether they play a positive or a negative effect. Everything is a lesson. There are no mistakes, only lessons. I would tell my younger self not to take life too seriously. Learn to laugh, enjoy the journey, um, but at the same time, time waits for no man. So get your stuff together, 18-year-old Errin. I remember when I first started voice lessons, I skipped my first one, then I was late to and my teacher told me by the time I was graduating, he told me, back then when you were a freshman and you missed your first lesson and then you were late to your second, I was actually going to talk to you about maybe considering a change of major. But at first I said, let me warm you up first and let's see what happens. And then from then on, everything was different. And I would also tell my younger self, don't be afraid to take a leap of faith. You're going into uncharted territories, and I know it's scary, but you know what? You take that leap, and someone will catch you. It could lead to something greater. It will lead to something great.
Absolutely. I talk oftentimes about how challenging college is, particularly when you're in a predominantly white institution.
Oh yeah.
And oftentimes, I think people are discouraged when they're not cast as, the lead in the opera, the lead in the musical, or whatever. And I often think about how whether or not you were the lead in the college musical doesn't matter in your future, and that your present does not define where you will go and who you will become, because that story is still being written. And
Yes.
so I feel like that just dovetails so much with the fact that no matter what those negative messages you might hear, whether they are from teachers or from students, colleagues, whatever, that the story is still being written, and to continue to show up and do the work is what I heard you say
Yeah.
along the way,
That's
right? Is to keep showing up and
absolutely.
applying yourself.
Yes. And I'll tell you one more thing. Um, be secure. And that's what I like about college. You get extra time to figure out who you are and who you want to be. And if you're going into a field such as opera or law or business or anywhere, be absolutely secure in who you are, because the higher you go there, and even in college, there are going to be people who will try and change you and make you into who they want you to be or who they think you should be. But if you are secure in who you are, you'll be able to handle that. You'll be able to handle that in the best way possible that works for you. Because if you're not secure in who you are, you will become lost. You may become lost. I don't want to scare you. I want to inspire you to really look inside yourself and really dig into your craft and really enjoy this journey that you're going through. You know, there are times where it's going to get bad and it's going to seem really awful, but it's at that moment that something great is right around the corner. You just got to keep pushing, keep persevering. If if you can find, I don't know, I was blessed and I had maybe like just I could probably count on one hand. Like I had some really close friends, and of course I've always had my mom and my sisters and and the foundation of my family, my church family. But I was blessed with having people to like help push me along
Yeah.
the way. And that's what I want to be for as many people as I can, whether I know you or not, whether I'm in your life for
It's
a
5 o'clock.
while or only for a moment. I want to be like me letting my light shine allows you to do the same,
Mm,
unabashed and unafraid.
that's good. Wait, say that again. I just want I want the kids to get that one. I want them to get it.
Yeah,
You
just
say,
be assured and take this time to don't focus so much on the money, focus more on figuring out who this person is and who you want to be, the type of person you want to be. And you know, I want to be myself personally. I would like to be, just a beacon of light for anyone, people I know, people I don't know. Me allowing my light to shine gives you permission to do the same, and you must pay that forward to the people coming behind you.
absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about where our students can find you, what you're up to, what you're doing next, what you got coming up? Yeah, go for it.
Well, God is good, God is faithful. And, today, uh, you know, uh, Miss Cicely Tyson's funeral was today, and I had the honor and privilege of uh, performing at her funeral today in Harlem. So
Wonderful.
I just got back from that a few hours ago. Um, uh, this this 2020-2021 season, I would have been at the Met covering the role of the Emperor in Strauss's Die Frau ohne Schatten, and I would have also sang the first armored man and the first priest in Mozart's Die Zauberflöte. This upcoming season at the Met, the 2021-2022 season, I'll be returning in Fire Shut Up in My Bones, the first Black composed opera to be presented at the Met, and that will be opening the season. And I will be making my return as Mingo in Porgy and Bess after that. And
Wonderful.
then I will be uh, performing in making my Broadway debut in Ricky Ian Gordon and one of my favorite Black playwrights, Lynn Nottage, Intimate Apparel, where I'll be playing Mr. Charles. And so you can find me on Facebook. It's my name, Errin Brooks. You can find me on YouTube, same name. You can find me on Instagram, Black Pavarotti _85. And I believe that is it. There is a website coming. But yeah, and you know, you can get my email address from me or from Adrian. If you want to talk, I'm available anytime.
Absolutely. Well, we will definitely make sure that that is available, your email for students to reach out to you. And I just want to say thank you. And I also want to say how proud I am of you, of the work that you're doing, and for, continuing to let your light shine and being an advocate for Black artists and for justice in the industry. That is amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today, and I know our
It,
students
it is
will appreciate this.
always enjoy talking with you, man. See, a lot of people don't know you, my brother. This is my Chicago brother right here. We met back in 2013 when I moved out to Chicago, and we've been rocking ever since. And I'm really proud of you as well and everything that you're doing. And I see the light that God is putting on you and just shining in front of everybody. And I just pray nothing but the best for you. Continued success, man. You something else, brother. And I thank God that we are in each other's lives, for real.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, man. I love you, brother. And
Love you.
I will, I'm looking forward to great things.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you all for tuning in to our Black Artist Conversations with today's guest, Errin Dwayne Brooks. Thank you so much.